Made the chicken tikka masala tonight, which was fantastic.
Oh yeah, but a little burn. A little burn.
It's heavy, man.
It's very heavy. Very heavy. Got that rice and got that naan just sitting.
Well, that's true, but that sauce is like straight cream. It's
Yeah,
like
it was one of
like ice cream chicken.
Yes.
Ice cream chicken.
It's delicious, but
My recipe, which has been fine-tuned over years.
nice.
Honestly, yeah, it calls for 3 tablespoons of butter.
Mm-hmm.
But tonight was a 4 tablespoons of butter night.
Hey, indulge.
Nice, my man.
Kind of regretting that choice a little bit.
Boy.
Hi, and welcome to You Should Check It Out. My name is Jay.
I am Nick.
And I'm Greg.
And Nick, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. Even though it's Thursday morning, I'm doing great. How are you, Greg?
I'm hanging in there, man. It's Thursday morning, but it's also Monday night, so
Yeah.
Right.
It's amazing.
yeah.
Well, I don't know what time zone you guys are living in, but right now for me, it's actually Wednesday afternoon.
Okay. Well,
But the Zoom's pretty good at syncing these things up, so I think we're going to be okay.
It's worked so far.
it has.
Yeah.
It has.
Yeah.
Greg, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. I hope everybody got the word about the YouTube channel launch, because we are now live on
man.
YouTube.
We are.
Yes.
We are
Yes, we
official.
are.
So please go smash that subscribe button up on the YouTubes.
Yes, please. Yeah, we put some effort in getting that channel up. It was one of those things. YouTube's so funny about. They got all these like little hurdles you have to cross.
Yeah.
So, we made a hour-long video or whatever last week, and I uploaded it. Was so excited. Waited 45 minutes for it to upload or whatever, and then it processes, and then it says okay. Now it's processing after it's uploading, and then it's processing, and it's processing, and then it finally tells me, oh, well, you can only upload a 15-minute video.
And it does
right.
that after the upload.
After
Yeah.
the upload and after the
Right.
processing. So
Right.
this
It's
was
a
like
lot of fun.
midnight of Wednesday or something like that. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
But
We got it up there.
we got it all figured out. We're up
Yeah.
there
There
now.
you go.
It's all good.
Excellent.
So please check it out. Yeah, we're going to be doing videos. We're going to be trying to, whenever we can, have our beautiful faces up there for people to see.
Indeed.
Ding!
Here we are.
And,
Yeah.
maybe not every week, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an extra effort, but Jay's been holding it down, and we learn as we go, and it'll be great to have more of a video presence online for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hopefully.
definitely.
I've had to get some more stuff in my background here. I put up the pink paisley Telecaster. I'll be getting to that a little bit later.
Oh.
Got my Newcastle United banner flying.
There you
Got to
go.
fly the colors.
Nice.
And the banjo, dead center.
Indeed.
There it is. Very nice.
Right on.
Cool.
All right.
Lots of good
What
stuff.
are we doing, Jay?
Well, I'm up first, I think. I think we're getting back in the groove here. So we want to play some music first. And if you guys recall, whenever I was down at the beach in North Carolina interviewing my friend Michael, I was talking about how I had found all of this box of tapes.
Yes.
No, I'm sorry. Let me walk this back. We were talking about this box of tapes that he had given me back
Right.
when I was probably
Yes.
12, 13, something like that. And the next week, whenever we got back from the beach, my mom went in the attic and she found the box of tapes. She actually found 2 boxes of tapes. And she was like, do you want these? And I'm like, heck yes, I want them. At the time, I didn't even have a way to play them, but that's a piece of my history, and I had to have them. Not
Yeah.
sure why. So,
So did you get a tape deck?
guys, I got them here. I got them. This is box 1 of 2. So, so here's the thing. I got these cassettes, and I started looking through them. I'm like, this is incredible. There's a bunch of artists in here that I haven't thought about or I haven't listened to or whatever. And then I was like, well, I don't have a cassette player.
Wow.
So, I started looking around, trying to find like a cheap cassette player, but I didn't want to get one that sounded like crap. So I just happened the other day, it was last week, went out to my local Goodwill, and
What
they
happened?
had not one,
Ah.
Hey, Bird
There
Clap.
you go.
Hi, Bert Clark.
they had not one, but 2 very fine Pioneer cassette decks.
Ooh.
They were both like $7, and they looked in beautiful condition. They're both dual well. I'm sure they cost an arm and a leg back in the day.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, instead of rolling the dice, I'll just get them both. So I did. Good thing I did too, because one of them didn't work at all. But luckily, thanks to guys like TechMoan and a bunch of other guys, YouTubers who just make a living taking apart crappy cassette players and showing you how to fix them. It's just a broken belt. It's a bunch of broken belts that are in there. So I have the belts and I'm ready to reassemble. But one of the other cassette player was working 100% perfectly. So I've been able to dive into some of these cassettes. So I thought maybe we can take a dive into Jay Rossman's tape stash.
Ooh.
Let's hear this. Let's hear this.
Tape stash. That's right.
It's like a tape mustache?
It's like a tape mustache, exactly.
Okay.
Yep. Except a little bit more, less hairy, more magnetic.
Okay.
So just here's a some kind of, it's labeled Frankly Zappa.
Frankly.
Can't see that, but haven't gotten to that one yet. Here's Iggy
Now,
Pop.
are these tapes? Are these the tapes that Michael had provided, or
Yeah,
are these...
so he made dubs of these from CDs that he had,
Okay.
Nice.
and they're very high quality. They're all on like metal or like the Type 2 cassettes. They're really nice cassettes. He took time to label like what day he recorded them and whether or not he used noise reduction. Like he's one of those kind of guys. Like
Sure.
so.
You check the box. Yeah.
Yes.
They have this check box. Right?
Wow.
Which is more than I could say for any of my cassettes I ever
I used to just color them in. Yeah, it's perfect.
So I've been going through and listening to these, and I've been having a great time. And I've actually been like astounded by how good some of these cassettes sound
Really?
when they're played through a good cassette player.
Interesting.
It is. It really is. Because I don't know. My perception of cassettes was always like they sounded like crap. There's a lot of hiss. There's a lot of noise. They're a pain in the butt to fast forward and rewind through. But apparently, I just never had a good cassette player.
Okay.
Do
Okay.
they get worn? I mean, do they get worn? Is that like something with cassettes?
A
that-
warbly.
They can.
Well, just
they
like
can.
worn, like the more you use the
Yeah.
the quality degrades.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. And that, of course, depends on the player that you're using, too. So that can eat up tapes.
There you go. That
And,
makes
you
sense.
know, the warble thing, that's, again, a symptom of just bad cassette players. But you get a nice cassette player, I'm seriously impressed.
Nice.
I did not expect that at all. So, anyway, I just thought I'd play a couple tunes I found. So the first one I wanted to talk about was, have you guys ever heard of Sue Foley? Suefoley?
No, sir.
Souffle?
Sue Foley.
Souffle?
She's Canadian, but I don't think she's Quebecian.
Okay.
Quebecois, excuse me.
Quebecois.
Yeah.
Quebecois.
Sue Foley.
Bonjour.
She's fantastic. The album that I'm talking about here is called Young Girl Blues, and let me just play a clip from it, and I'll talk about it a little bit later. This one's called Gone Blind.
Great.
Yeah,
I can see why you like that.
how about that, huh?
That's a J jam right there.
Can't
Yeah.
lose with the blues.
Mm-hmm.
So that's from her debut album. That was in 1992.
Right.
And so that would, I think she was 22 when she made that. It's really good, just like down home, Delta blues, stuff like that. It's a 3-piece band, like 3-piece combo. I think one of them has some piano on it. It's just, she's so good. And the other cool thing is she plays a pink
Banjo.
Paisley Telecaster. Oh, banjo, that's right. No, she's been playing a pink Paisley Telecaster her whole life.
Oh,
So,
wow.
hey,
A winner in my book.
Yeah, there you
very
go.
cool.
She's apparently still at it. It says, I was looking at her Wikipedia, she just got her first award this past May.
That's right. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so she has 12 solo albums under her belt, and she's just been playing in like small blues combos all her life. And the latest one she has is called the Ice Queen, because she's from Canada. And that came out in 2018. That had Billy Gibbons on it,
Oh, nice.
Jimmy Vaughn, and Charlie Sexton from
Nice.
Bob
There you
Dylan's
go.
band.
Cool.
So yeah, that blew my mind. I honestly never heard the name Stu Foley before, and I probably never would have had it not been for the
Cassette tapes.
tape stash. It's a cassette. You gotta wait for it to load. You know?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
be kind and rewind.
Right.
Oh, man. Wait, so the clip you just played us of Stu Foley, was that actually from the tape?
Yes. No, it wasn't. I don't have the setup set up
Okay.
to record directly from the
Next
cassette.
time.
Yeah. No, the cool thing about this, like, is not Spotify would have probably never served this up to me as like an artist you might like.
A recommended artist, yeah.
And she never like dipped like the big national radar. I've never heard of her, but she's fantastic. She's incredible. So, again,
And
thank you, Michael.
luckily, the labeling is so excellent that you can just find the exact tracks. Yeah.
Exactly. Now this next one, and
Okay.
I honestly don't know the provenance of this. You'd think I would, given how much I love Radiohead, but I don't. This is a Radiohead single.
Ooh.
Okay.
It is the
that-
Creep single, and for
Okay.
those of you kids who don't know what a single is, it's the most like vicious waste of plastic you've ever seen. In your
Right.
life. It's two sides. There's about 3 minutes of audio on
Right.
each side.
It's like
Yeah.
8 feet of magnetic tape.
Yeah, the
So
EPA
you-
got into it with those guys.
Yeah.
No more singles.
Seriously. So it's this cassette single. It's on side one is Creep. We all know the song Creep. On the other side was a song that I genuinely had never heard before by Radiohead. It's called
Really?
Faithless the Wonder Boy.
Okay.
Y'all familiar?
I've heard it,
Yeah.
yeah.
You've heard
I
it.
don't know that one.
Unlike
Right?
their B-side stuff, right?
I mean, it would be on a B-side somewhere. It's literally a B-side.
Right?
It's literally a B-side. That's right.
Is it labeled B? Can we see that? No? I'm just kidding.
It's Program 2. Not B.
Okay. Oh,
So this is the 2 side.
Is that program with 2 M's and an E?
Program. Yes.
Program.
No, this was an Americanized version.
Oh, okay.
But no, I genuinely
Program.
never heard the song before. It may have shown up on like a B-sides album down the road, but anyway, I thought I'd play that one too. What do you guys think?
Program.
Let's do it.
Program.
Program.
What's the Nirvana song I'm thinking of, Greg? And Mom and Dad were down.
Sliver.
Sliver.
Sliver. That's on this cassette.
Uh-oh.
Oh snap! He's got it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well done, sir.
That is a good pull right there.
Well,
That-
it just so happens because like I literally have like 10 cassettes at my feet from a box that I just unearthed. Because when you said tape stash, I was like, oh, maybe I'll get my tapes out as well. I've got a few fun ones down here.
So what's it called? What's the Nirvana song
Nirvana
called?
song? Sorry, the Nirvana song is called Sliver.
Yes, Mom and Grandma take you home. Grandma
Yeah,
take me
yeah.
home.
Yeah,
Grandma
exactly.
take me home. Yep.
Yep.
That's the dance you do.
That
whenever you're
was
singing
the one
Sliver.
that they sanctioned that one. Yep. That's what Cobain would do.
Man, yeah, that's not the only Nirvana cassette I have.
Oh yeah.
I have this guy.
Oh nice.
And
In utero.
Yeah, I have all of them to be honest.
Never
Sweet.
mind.
Never mind.
Bleach.
Got Bleach, yeah.
Bleach. Ooh.
Yeah, and
Can
then
you feel my love buzz?
Unplugged in New York was now I had the CDs. But I got these puppies. Ride the Lightning and Master of
Metallica,
Puppets.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and Justice for All.
Sweet.
This
That's like the
classic.
one album that was like made for cassette.
Soundgarden, Super Unknown.
Yeah. Yeah, this
I only
was a-
have the case. I found my Soundgarden Super Unknown case, but the cassette itself is nowhere to be found.
Yeah, my and Justice for All cassette isn't in there.
MIA.
Isn't it crazy how that album art is burned in your head from
Yeah.
childhood?
Oh well,
Just staring at it.
yeah, it's true. I used
Yeah.
to remember that those Metallica records, right? like if I was listening to Master of Puppets, which has the red art, I was like picturing red in my mind, and then if I, you know what I mean, like Ride the Lightning Blue, like I don't know, you start to associate the way that album sounds with the color. I'm sure that people can relate.
Yep.
In this particular case, it was Metallica, but this is cool. This is a cassette from one of the first like musicians I ever met.
Oh wow!
The band was called Super Rad, and
Super Rad.
Her alias was Stairway Girl because she used to play songs in the stairway.
Nice.
She had like blue dyed hair and like big thick glasses and very angsty, very grungy.
Sweet.
You know, and yeah. Good times, man. But yeah, cassettes used to rule my life, you know?
Heck yeah.
They ruled everything around us there for a while.
Yeah,
Indeed.
man, the original mixtape, that was the jam.
That's right. But for now, I'm going to have to close the door on the tape stash
Okay.
until next time. But as you can hear, I got plenty more from where that came from. So
Yes, indeed.
Rad.
hope to be bringing that back here soon.
And that's
Please
just
do.
box 1, correct?
That's right.
Holy smokes.
Now, are you in possession of box
fair-
2?
Oh, yeah. No. To be fair, box 2 just had a bunch of, like, it's like half cassettes, and then the other half is, like, my old NBA basketball trading cards. So I have, like, some vintage Jason Kidds, you know, and
Oh, good.
Nice.
Yeah.
some Dikembe Mutombos in there.
Nice. Can't be Mutombo, man.
Didn't hold their value.
Not as well as I was expecting, to be
Really,
fair.
banking on retiring off that.
Yeah.
Kids, but that didn't
I've been
happen.
hearing some rumors that they're about to go up, though.
Oh, yeah?
For real.
Hold
Yeah.
on to them.
I'm not
Hold on to
kidding.
them.
It was Gary. You know who Gary V is? Gary
Vaynerchuk?
Yeah, he's been talking about that.
Yeah.
He's all like, I'll tell you what. You know, like, sorry. I'm working on that one.
I'm just always half convinced he's running a racket of some sort.
Well,
That
in
guy's
any
brilliant.
case,
He's brilliant.
in any case, he was talking about sports card values going up. You know.
Yeah, I don't think there's any danger of me selling short right now. I don't exactly have a place to unload them, so I'll
They
be
can
holding
only
on to
go
them.
up, really. It's
Yeah. Indeed.
good stuff, man. Well, that's
All
great.
right, Mr. Nick,
Last
what you
one.
got, buddy?
Thank you very much. First, let me play a song.
Oh yeah, sure.
A Mr. Anderson Paak. I believe it was this past Friday.
I think it's pronounced Park.
You know, we checked on this, and his mother is Korean. His last name is Anderson. This is exactly how he describes it. So it's Park, is actually the name. He
Right.
pronounces it Pack, but it's really pronounced Pak. So really, anything you want to call him, I think is going to
Clear as
fit.
day. Clear as day.
But he put out a new song that he wrote and recorded in isolation called Lockdown, and it's a really good track. Go ahead and
Yeah.
roll that.
Sweet.
Whew.
That's hot, man. That's a
relevant.
really cool track.
Yeah, it is a good track.
I
It's a
really
good
dig
track.
that.
He released it. He released a 5. It was like a little small album, but he released just the instruments, just the vocals, and like a remix version, and so people can play
Nice.
with the tracks and do what they want. Yeah,
Oh, I love
yeah, I love when they do that. So yeah, I thought that was a great track and
Yeah,
quite
he's-
relevant and really catchy.
It's so
Yeah.
hard to write like that and be relevant and make it sound, I don't know,
good.
for lack
Yeah.
of a better word.
Have it not be like have it not
Right.
feel like it's a little too on the nose. Yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's a solid track.
He's a talented cat.
So I was digging around. Through the music news, guys, and I found an article from it was only about a week ago, but from the New York Times about the original America's only rock and roll magazine.
Yeah.
This magazine called Creem. Had you guys
Uh-huh.
heard of it? Jay,
Yeah.
Greg, have you heard of this?
Yeah, but I never read or owned an issue.
Yeah. so
Okay,
it's-
but you had heard of it. Okay.
I feel like I've seen it in movies, maybe. You know.
yeah,
well-
definitely.
Funny you mentioned that in movies. There's a documentary that's going to be coming out here, I think, in about a month. About this magazine. So this is I guess where Lester Bangs got his start.
Yeah. yeah.
Of
We talked about him on an earlier
we
review.
we just brought him up and kind of lambasted him quite a bit. But so this was basically it was a rock and roll magazine that thought that Rolling Stone was too full of itself in politics and movie coverage, and so this one sought out to be the definitive rock and roll only magazine in America, or the only rock and roll magazine in America. And the stories that just in this little article that's kind of in preparation for the documentary that's coming out, I don't know. It just made me think, like, this is, I think when we were talking before about bad reviews, I had made the comparison to Pitchfork, but these guys sound a lot snootier than Rolling Stone ever was. Oh
yeah.
So it's to be determined. But yeah, they all lived in this house together. Actually, they're from Michigan, or Detroit, and I guess they had been in operation for a few months and had their whole office broken into and a bunch of stuff stolen. So they got a place out in the country and lived there together. This handful of misfits. And apparently it was just a lot of fist fights and copywriting. So
sounds like fun, man.
I'm actually really excited for the documentary, to be honest, because
that's what would be happening with us if we actually were physically in the same place.
That's what
the
I was
fist
just
fights
thinking.
or the copywriting.
Fist fight, yeah, both. Yeah.
We can write some copy. I don't know if you want.
There's that one story of somebody taking a dog turd from one of his dogs and putting it on top of the typewriter of one of the
in his typewriter, and then and then he says and he slammed my head into the car door, but he wasn't doing it to hurt me. He just wanted to win.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh man,
brilliant.
So
brilliant.
Yeah, it was just a brief article, and there's nothing really here more than that. But yeah, Greg, what do you got?
Is Lester Bangs, speaking of movies, is that the doesn't Philip Seymour Hoffman play that guy in Almost Famous?
Oh,
you might be right.
I think you're right, Greg.
Yeah. The name rings a bell more than just it's his association with rock.
Well,
so
he went on to write for Rolling Stone later.
Right.
Or at least do some articles for them. I don't know if he was entirely associated with them. So you might be right about that, Greg.
Yes, I am. It appears, according to Google.
Good pull. Good
recall.
Yeah, and rest in peace, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Well, apparently, rest in peace the entire
Lester
Creem
Bangs.
staff.
Yeah.
Jeez.
They all overdosed on something.
Yeah. I guess the Lester Bangs passed away in 81.
82 from painkillers.
From painkillers.
And NyQuil.
Yeah.
And
not a good combo.
And the other guy, whose son is now trying to revive the magazine, was nitrous oxide.
Oof. That blew my mind.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was possible. But
that's an extraordinary amount of nitrous. That's.
I think so. But cautionary tale, kids. Yeah.
Be careful, guys. Yeah.
For real.
But yeah, what's the story with that? When he passed away, he had willed Creem to
his infant son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Complete
and
control of
his
Creem.
wife was like, "What? We've got bills," so she sold it. And now the son in his late 40s, hoping to rekindle his father's glory, I think is trying to revive the thing. But he's a producer. His son is a producer on the documentary.
There you go.
Yeah, so I thought it was cool because I had never really, I'd probably been aware, and I'm sure since I'm sure they talk about it in Almost Famous.
I don't know if they ever actually acknowledge Creem Magazine, but I feel like they go to his office and there's probably some in, frames.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe. So that's what it makes me think of, but I can't say for sure. But yeah, that's a cool character in Almost Famous, and yeah, he seems like an interesting guy. I'm looking forward to that documentary. Yeah,
Creem was actually the periodical that coined the term punk rock and also heavy metal that came from writers there. So those were because those were genres that Rolling Stone wouldn't cover.
That's right.
Yeah. But you know what? I feel like the more that we're talking about this, the more I'm having flashbacks of reading about bands and being like Creem Magazine, just especially metal bands. Now that you say that, it's all kind of clicking.
Yep.
So,
Well, it
Very
makes you
cool.
kind of it makes me wistful for like, not that I was around during the early '70s, but like, it's hard to imagine a time where print media was ever a wild west of print media. You know, where a couple college kids could get together and actually make a magazine
Sure.
that would ever get any traction. You know,
Right.
I feel like we're kind of living in that age now, digitally, where
Sure.
you got three idiots.
I think
you know, that
blogs
can
went through that phase. I
talk
think,
about
yeah,
whatever the
we're-
hell they want, you know, on YouTube.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
But seriously, I mean, as far as print goes, like, if you ever imagined making a magazine in the '90s, like,
Yeah.
you know, it's just not possible.
What about like National Lampoon? It almost seems like these guys might mirror that.
Yeah, that was late '60s, I think,
scene,
right?
You know, I feel like maybe that's, but only they were doing another thing. They were doing comedy, you know, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
that's another movie I want to see. It's got Will Forte in it. I haven't seen it. Maybe you guys have, but it's about National Lampoon and how
Oh,
that
no.
got together.
I don't know about
No.
that.
I can't tell you what the name is. It's right off the top of my head.
Well,
but-
those are all the guys that went on to write for Saturday Night Live.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like somebody plays Chevy Chase in the movie, I
Nice.
think, you know.
A
anyway.
futile and stupid gesture.
There you go. That's the name of the. Yeah, and I haven't seen it yet, but several people have told me I would really like it. So
Gee.
I'll report back as soon as I can.
The cover
Yeah.
looks hilarious. It's
Oh,
just
good.
a gun, just Will Forte with a gun to his
Oh.
head, and he's just got his stupid face.
Oh boy. Ah man, classic. Yeah.
Good stuff. Interestingly, Joel McHale plays Chevy Chase in that movie.
There you go.
Weird tie into Community.
Right on, right
How
on.
about that?
Anyway, that's all I got.
Sounds
Hey,
good, man.
stuff.
That's all
Yeah.
I got. Greg,
Yo.
the floor
What
is yours.
Well, let me play a clip that I picked out this week.
Perfect.
This is from the rapper named Logic, who put out an album. And he says it's his last album. He's like retiring. The guy's like 30 years old. He's from sort of my neck of the woods out in Maryland,
Oh.
sort of the Bethesda area. And yeah, I've been hearing his name for a while. He shows up in an episode of Rick and Morty.
Oh, really?
And yeah. And so when this album came out, you know, I've been using Tidal for a long time, and they have a feature on there called Masters, and it's like the highest quality streaming stuff
Right.
that they have. So yeah, I might check someone out just because I want to hear the top level.
Right?
And I put this on, and I thought it was pretty cool, man. This is from the song. What's the name of this tune? Hit My Line.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
that was fun. You know, and he's definitely has some skills, and I like the timbre of his voice. I kind of
Oh,
like
yeah.
my
Yeah.
rappers like a little like on the like Kendrick Lamar.
Nasally
you
a
know?
little bit,
You know,
yeah.
it cuts through, you know.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's great. That's
Those are
great.
good. The drums, I think it sounded live. They sounded
They-
like live track drums.
They very well could be, man.
Yeah.
I might dig into that a little bit more.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
checking. I didn't see anything, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool.
It's also cool because like if you go to I don't know if it's the same on Spotify, but on Tidal, like the album art kind of like comes to life.
Like it animates.
It animates exactly, yeah. So it's like imagine like a GIF file, you know,
yeah.
GIF. I don't know. I was
GIF, you got it, man. GIF, nailed it in one.
GIF.
Yep.
Okay. Whew. Okay.
It'll always be GIF in my world.
Well, and you'll always be wrong. So
I'm fine with that.
Always.
I've reached the age
wrong.
I'm just totally, I'm
Forever
totally
wrong.
okay with that.
Forever wrong. Well, so boys, I wanted to. Well, I'm pretty sure I texted you guys as soon as I saw this,
heck
but
yeah, you did.
this band that we've talked about out here before already, Vulfpeck.
Uh-huh.
They're always throwing
They
out
got-
new, interesting concepts and ideas.
They have to be in like a
And-
top 5 of bands mentioned on this podcast. Like them and
Well,
Bob Dylan for whatever reason.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they get brought up a lot, not necessarily because we're the biggest fans of their music and can't stop listening to it. Although that Madison Square Garden is so good.
yeah.
But this is another example of what makes them relevant. If you were to go to their social media, Facebook or Instagram, you'd see their band leader Jack Stratton, I believe. And he's explaining basically that he invested in Spotify. He thought it was going to take... He was betting against Spotify. And then they posted these huge earnings, and he's basically admitting that he went broke on this bet.
Is that for real?
You know what? It's impossible to verify.
The whole thing struck me as a joke.
I think that was facetious. I think so. I think it was
because he kept on going with it.
Yeah.
Like he just kept going, and it was like, I don't think this is real.
But could be true.
Could be.
So anyway,
could be. But so basically, he's saying that, in order to recoup his losses, they are auctioning off the 10th track on their new album to the highest bidder. So like whoever gives them the most money can put whatever they want on track 10 of their album. So he says it could be a marriage proposal, it could be your band's song, and it's like coveted real estate.
yeah,
or like audio real estate, I guess, if you will. And it's just it's an interesting thing to think about, because as soon as I heard him say this, I'm like, who is going to pay for this and why? I mean, I think somebody is definitely going to pay for this. Good money.
I was gonna, depending on the price, I was gonna talk about this after the show. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We get the
promo. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. It would be great promo. And so here's what it got me thinking about, though, is like, wow, it's like giving value to the art again. In an age where, monetary value, because we're in an age where people don't expect to pay for music anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really, really clever and interesting way to think about that, Greg. That is really cool to think about. Now, granted, like if they were to auction off all 10 tracks, then the value would have no value because it's not a Vulfpeck album at that point, right?
Of course.
But if you think about it in isolation, one track is now worth, what's the eBay auction at right now?
$50,000.
Yeah, it's currently at $50,100, and it's got 25 days left.
Yeah, and it was at 36 the first time I checked.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's an incredible statement for how much that real estate is worth.
It's true. Yeah, you realize, okay, it actually is worth something.
Yeah.
I think the title for this segment is going to be Vulfpeck Sells Out Again.
Yeah.
Yes!
Exactly. Yeah, that's all they do. They sell out. But it made me think of a really interesting story, and sort of something that I'm not sure how I feel about this, but do you all remember the Wu-Tang album that came out that was sold?
Oh yeah,
I do.
It was sold. So yeah. Well, wait. Before we get there, it's the 7th studio album by Wu-Tang Clan, right?
Okay.
It was limited to a single copy sold in 2015. It's the most expensive individual album ever sold. It was sold for $2 million.
Mm-hmm.
They just made one copy.
They just made one copy and put it in this like really special box.
I opened a special box.
Yeah.
Here it is.
And
yep.
Yeah, it's like I said. Yeah,
A6.
It turns out it's actually in Jay's tape stash.
Tape stash.
Yeah. So
and who was the lucky winner of that?
Well, this wasn't announced at first, but it ended up being like this supervillain, Martin Shkreli.
Yeah.
The farmer bro.
Yeah, the farmer bro who like jacked up the price of.
Who bought the farmo, and he was like, "Yeah, I bought it so I could jack the prices up."
Yeah.
Eat my pills now, bitches.
This guy's like Lex Luthor or something, and he ended up buying like the one copy of the Wu-Tang album.
Of course. Well, I'm never gonna listen to it. I just wanted to have it.
Yeah, and now I can listen to it.
No, I can listen. No one else can.
He promised he would leak some of it if Donald Trump won the election, and so he did. Like there's a little bit that you can hear online. It's just terrible, man. It's terrible.
Well, that's my fear, Greg. Is that now if you look at the eBay album or the eBay auction, it does say that Vulfpeck can decline to sell it.
Oh, does it?
If what they get is deemed offensive to them. In whatever way.
Well, that makes sense though too.
They say obscene, hateful, or just plain creepy. for any of those reasons.
Right. So you hope that they are going to vet that, but I'm just afraid it's going to be like some weird alt-right,
Another DB
troll thing that's going to get out. I don't know. I just hope that they don't get pulled into the morass that is internet culture these days.
Yeah. To be fair, even though I think Wu-Tang Clan was kind of like, they didn't expect that to happen, but apparently after learning the buyer's identity, they donated a significant portion of the proceeds to charity.
Oh, really? Oh, that's awesome.
Just to try to get their name off the tarnish.
Well, yeah.
I mean, really, yeah.
But, it's, this is all like RZA's concept, and he replied that the ban was necessary, that like the commercial ban was necessary to maintain the integrity of the album as a work of art. And it just takes balls, man. I mean, it's like a double album.
So has it aside from like the leaked stuff, has it actually remained unheard?
Yeah.
Has no one really heard
and
it?
It will be that way until 2103.
So
we're never going to hear it.
There is no chance. There is no chance.
Yeah.
That somebody doesn't get a hold of that thing. That Skrelly doesn't like sell that thing for like bail money or something.
But isn't he in jail at this point? I can't remember.
Oh yeah.
Should be.
Yeah.
He was at one point.
It's like insider trading or something.
Conviction for fraud, and the federal court seized the assets, including Once Upon a Time in Shaolin, and his lawyer said the album was now probably worthless.
But being enjoyed by a court clerk.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just like, oh, this is so fire, yo.
Holy crap.
Wow.
Mrs. Weatherbottom's just there like, oh yeah, it's it all worth it.
But back to Vulfpeck though, because this is, well, I mean, talk about balls. All right, like, I mean, in one case, you're putting together an album that nobody's ever going to hear, and you know that. So whatever.
In the Wu-Tang case.
In the Wu-Tang case, they're going to put out an album that has to be determined, a 10th track that has to be determined.
Could be anything.
I love the description on eBay though, and I'll try to remember to put the listing in there. Long-term financial growth is almost guaranteed. A major highway is coming through track 10. This will be another Highway 61. The thing I didn't understand, they say you'll live within walking distance of former track tenors: Lewis Cole, Corey Wong, Baby Theo, Bootsy Collins, and Mushy K. Are those just guest artists that have been on previous records?
No, those are actually, I think those are like the names of...
They haven't done this though, right?
I think those are the track 10s of the other albums.
I see. Yeah. Those are the name of the track 10s. They all just struck me as people's names. So.
Well, they are.
Well, they are. Yeah. They are. Like Corey Wong is the guitar player, but there is a song called Corey Wong.
Right.
That Vulfpeck does.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, man. It's an interesting... he's been talking about, this is a band that did... made an album of silence and then told everyone to just stream it while they were asleep to just jack up royalties.
Yeah, they were basically just he had gone on the news. He had gone on a bunch of news channels, just yelling about how ridiculously cheap Spotify was with sharing revenue with artists, and then they came up with this essentially a stunt of a silent album that all of their fans could just play on repeat in order to just generate microcents for their bank account eventually.
But it's just brilliant, man. I mean, it's a white boy funk band essentially that just has really creative outside the box ways to get in front of people, to get their music out in front of people, and they've generated buzz and
so creative, creative those guys. It's awesome.
Indeed.
Oh, speaking of Corey Wong, he has a new album out. The guy is like effing prolific, and it's all acoustic.
Yeah,
which is very cool.
Oh, is this brand new?
Oh yeah, brand new. It just came out this week. Or last week. And he's doing a bunch of YouTube videos, like in the style of Jacob Collier, where he breaks down exactly how the tracks happen.
That's awesome.
And it's effing brilliant because he's just such a smart guy, and he knows he's obviously producing and mixing and engineering it all himself. So he has this one track called Bluebird, which is great, and it has the guy Chris Thiel, the mandolin player from Nickel Creek, I believe, originally. And like he has like text like that he brings up on screen that like this is the text I sent to Chris just to see if he'd be interested, and it's just like just such a cool guy, and just like breaking the just opening the windows just to show everyone
showing
how it happens.
the whole process.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I saw some of that actually. It popped up on my feed.
Very cool.
But yeah, I found it on YouTube. I was actually watching our stuff, and then I landed on the Corey Wong. So we're on the YouTube as well. Don't forget.
Yes,
we keep watching those videos back to back. Maybe we'll get linked up with some of this Vulfpeck action. Vulfpeck, Corey Wong.
Train the algorithm.
Wu-Tang.
I heard
Triad.
I heard Theo Katzman lives in my neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know if that's true or not.
Tell him I said hi.
They all live in town.
Cool.
I think several of them at least. Christmas in L.A., right? That's
Oh God, I love that song.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
It's definitely interesting to see how these guys have taken their approach, and looking forward to hearing more. But man, I will say this, that like I didn't want to get into those guys for some reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, because to be honest, I mean, they might have to admit that they're a little annoying sometimes. You know what I mean? They're like,
there's a cheese.
I think
there's
was
a cheese
Nick.
that comes with a Vulfpeck.
I think it was Nick. It was your line. They're kind of like the bare naked ladies of funk.
Yeah,
maybe a little bit, but they're
so good.
They're so good. They're so good. And the thing that really turned me around was that Madison Square Garden, and I felt like I was watching something I'd never seen before. You know, because it's all one shot.
Yeah.
And I'll mention too that out here in LA, there's something that was happening, pre-pandemic, at the Hotel Cafe, which is a really small venue. It's called the Hootenanny, much like our friends
Jim and Patrick's.
Yeah, it's called the Hootenanny, and it was basically like their scene, like sort of the people who are like on the peripheral parts of the Vulfpeck scene. And there's just so many talented people that are like sort of in there. And like one of the guys I saw there is actually in that Madison Square Garden, and he's actually the cameraman for most of the show.
Oh no, that's awesome.
But yeah, he wrote that song. Like I don't know what I'm gonna do with you or something. Anyway, you'd know it if you heard it.
Cool.
But they have like a lot of co-writers, in their scene, and all these different.
They're really good about
just
bringing other
guys.
people in and getting people
Exactly.
involved and all that
guests.
stuff, man. They're just as good marketers as they are musicians.
Right.
And the one thing that from that Madison Square Garden, I think it was a quote from Stratton, which is like, my goal is to make, $70,000 per band member per year. That's what we aim for. He just wants to make a living. They're not trying to get crazy rich. So you look at this, and they probably did the math, and this is going to be great. 50,000. And to quote him, this is not just about profits. Consider the intangibles: life goals, enjoyment, beans, immortality, funk.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it definitely got
words
some
to
like
live by.
definitely got some like Fish vibes, from like watching that. Even though it's stylistically different, but like I'm like they could kind of be like the new Fish in a way.
Yeah, and I think if Fish would have come of age now, they would be doing similar things to this.
Yeah, it's like it's a joke, but it's not, but it is. But yeah.
And it's a different relationship with the fans.
No doubt.
It's a much closer relationship with the fans than a lot of bands maintain.
Yeah, exactly. But very interesting story. Well, do you guys have any idea, or you guys want to place any bets on what the final number will be?
How long does it have left?
25 days.
It's only been up for 4 days.
Oh, no crap. So we got a whole month left. Okay, and it's at 50,000 right now. Once this hits buzz and it turns into a thing, I can think of it like a small band that's just on the cusp of stardom that has enough money to do that.
That's the key, though.
I don't know. But if they could convince their label to say, hey, think about how big this would be.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I could see it going 100,000.
I think it'll hit that. I think it's going to be a matter of. I hope brands don't get involved.
They will. Somebody.
Then it could very easily go higher than that, because they're going to be promoted. Like if a brand grabs this, they'll promote it themselves, probably try to write like a side deal where they can use it in advertisements and have a spot on. You know what I mean? Who knows?
It'd be funny if Spotify bought an ad
Yeah.
as like payback.
Winner.
I think that'd be a perfect olive branch.
Yeah.
Spotify, if you're listening, that is the move right there.
Yeah.
They're
You
not,
buy that,
but
and
we'll
you
send
just
them an
make
email.
you just make a very deadpan, flat advertisement for Spotify.
The
That's
lamest, like, yeah. Indeed.
Supported by artists like Vulfpeck.
That's right.
We should think of stuff. That'd be fun. If we had the money, what would we do? That'd be fun. That'd be a fun segment.
No doubt.
That sounds like a challenge, Nick. I like it.
Yes, sure.
I wonder if there's any shot at it getting 1 million.
Who? The people who could pay $1 million probably wouldn't need that kind of advertisement, right?
But they might want it. You know?
And I guess if it does reach 1 million, then it's got its own kind of self-generating hype, because then it would be on the New York Times.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing too is like if
the press that'll come out of wherever this thing goes is going to be huge.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so here we are. Keep an eye on that eBay auction. 25 days left, probably 23 by the time this airs.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. I know that this whole thing probably started with just some guy in his room.
What if we just auction off?
What
one
if
of
we
the
just
tracks?
auction off one of the tracks? And then the more they thought about it, it was like,
Yes.
you know what? That's exactly the thing to do. I love it.
Yeah, that's why the whole Spotify IPO thing felt like a ruse to like introduce this idea.
Yeah.
Right.
Because to me, it was like, oh, he's trying to get paid for the year. Like that's always what he says he's thinking. He's got like the tally and where they are and how much he's got to do to get like everybody paid. And
So this is a good time to announce. Starting, I think next week, we're going to put the eBay auction up. So episode 60 of You Should Check It Out. We're gonna step out of the studio that week, and you guys, the highest bidder is gonna make a You Should Check It Out episode.
that
It's probably gonna be us, right?
it'll be
Yes.
yeah.
I think so.
It just turns out we're bidding against each other.
Reserve not met.
Yeah.
The reserve was 8
8 cents.
dollars.
8 cents.
Oh, $8. All right.
Hey, but
You set a high bar,
gotta pay the processing fee for PayPal.
That's right.
Oh,
Cool.
man.
All
Good
right.
stuff.
Excellent work. Well, speaking of fans keeping in touch, Greg, how can fans keep in touch with You Should Check It Out, sir?
Well, find us on Instagram, Facebook, on Twitter. We're at ShouldCheck. Send us an email at ysciopodcast@gmail.com and look for us on YouTube now. You
That's
should
right.
check it out.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Get those clickable links in action.
Indeed.
I'm just thinking off the fly here. We're going to need outro music for all of these now that we've shifted all the music up. So
Oh, yeah.
why don't we make a little bit at the end of all these episodes that we collectively pick the fourth song?
Collectively, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just throw out the new
Wanna get a
Rolling
Zoom poll going or
the next
something?
new Rolling Stones single, Scarlet, which I don't know if you guys heard, with Jimmy Page.
Oh, no, I
guys
haven't
haven't
heard
heard
that yet.
What?
No. Rolling who? No.
No, apparently Jimmy Page came in the studio in 73, 74 and laid down a track, and it's incredible. So that's my vote.
Oh.
You guys got anything?
Go for it, man. No, I'm not going to fight you on that.
Nah, you got it. Do it.
All right, cool. Well, thanks so much for listening in, everybody, and thank you, gentlemen. Excellent work,
course.
as
Thank you.
always. And,
Good times.
This is Scarlett with Jimmy Page, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Have a good one, guys.